Welcome to the Tactical Games podcast. We're here for our Holt Florida AAR. We're going to talk through. I'm here with Nick Palasios.
What's up, guys?
Second time around. We're gonna work through today the Holt Florida event, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it. We'll go over athlete performance and how everybody did, kind of our take on the weekend, and then we'll close it out with how we performed on the stages, which was interesting. It was a good vetting experience for sure.
My favorite vetting experience was vetting the rope rig stage with the sleds, and we'll get into that why that is. But
fucking god.
But how'd you feel about the weekend overall?
How did I feel? How did you feel about the weekend overall?
A little rough on my end. Administratively, it was we're a little short staffed on the volunteer side, so that that always presents a little bit of a.
How many volunteers did we have?
We had about 20. So ideally, when we're running a 7 or 8 stage format, having at least 30 people is ideal for us. That gets us close to 4 to 6 people on each stage, depending on like the complexity of it and what we've got going on each bay. So a little bit short staffed. Had a bunch of newer ROs, but overall, like I think everybody held their weight. If anything did come up, it was fixed promptly. At the end of the day, competitor facing, I think the event was really good. Got a lot of good positive feedback, got some good constructive feedback on a few things. But I feel like we put on a better match than last year, which was the main goal going into Holt last year. We had a little bit of a tough event that year. So I was happy with it overall.
Yeah, I think we had one RO that was a returning RO, and all the rest of them were all brand new.
Yep.
So that was definitely it's always nerve-wracking going into an event, just about how things are going to perform, how things are going to go. You never really know. And then when you have that added variable of a lot of these people have never done this before that we rely pretty heavily on. So the training beforehand, going over the events beforehand, talking through with the team, getting all the ROs together for our calls and things like that, I think that makes a big difference in how they perform.
It does.
And then obviously one of the things that's it's incredibly important to us because we have so many competitors out there is schedule. So we had more complexity to these events than we typically have. We had a lot more implements. We just had a lot going on out there. So day one, we got behind schedule. We were about 40 minutes behind schedule on one stage, and I think about maybe 30 to 40 minutes behind schedule on another stage. We started out, got things running, got them back on schedule, and then pulled it to where we finished maybe 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late behind when we were supposed to end the day. So it's good when everybody can get together, recoup on those things, recover on those things, and then continue to perform.
Yeah.
I think that it was, it was a great group of ROs. My personal favorite were Paul and Timmy.
That was the best. We had to spend the week with the Gross brothers, and then Chad came in and helped volunteer.
Yeah.
And those guys, they lift as much as having double the amount of people. Like the amount of energy that those brothers can output is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And they're all hilarious.
Yeah. They all talk shit about each other nonstop, which is awesome. We learned a lot about their upbringing and how accident prone that they all are, which was hilarious as well too. Chad got a new nickname, Pitchfork. So it was great. No, it was awesome. Even with them being new, the level of care that they put into running their stages and ensuring that it ran on time was awesome to see. So it was really fun working with them for sure.
Yeah, and all the ROs did well. All of you guys did great. I think just calling those two out specifically, Brian ran a very tough stage.
Yeah, there's a lot of complexity with it, especially we initially wanted to do that carbine with the marathon movers on another bay. So adding the complexity of putting 2 stages on the same bay, having to converse between the two to make sure that we call cold range, so they can go down and reset paper targets. Yep. That slowed us up, a little bit on the first day, like you were saying, but going into Sunday, I think it ended up being a much smoother day. So.
No, I agree. So what was your favorite stage of the weekend?
Definitely tow haul mode, stage 1 with the rope rigs and the sled push. We've been wanting to do the sled push for the last couple of years, and being that we do everything outdoors, obviously, and having, to push on gravel, grass, or dirt or whatever, it's just not conducive for everybody to be able to do that. So having Dahmer come in as a sponsor this year has been awesome. And rolling out the turf for that stage was really cool to see. It kicked a lot of people in the teeth, I think, but it created a cool, different type of stage. It added some more complexity to it, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Reset on that one was a bit of a pain.
Yeah, reset was a little bit tough on that with the sleds and the targets, having to call cold range on the marathon target so we can get down range. But they had a good crew there, and they managed to knock it out, and they really ran a good stage.
Brian Christensen crushed that. That was awesome. So thanks,
Yeah.
Brian, for all the work that you did on that. We really appreciate that.
What about you?
My man, I liked a lot of them. The pit was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Running through the pit for the run was pretty cool. I like the format that we've been doing with the steel and the penalty on that stage. What was that one called?
Ski and steel. Yeah. So it's the hand release burpee.
I like bar exam when we finally got it to what the final version of that stage was going to be.
The fourth iteration. I think we have never been at a stage more times in a row than we did with that stage.
No.
There's a cluster of trees there for those of y'all that weren't there. There's we ran it on 2 bays, and we initially wanted to do like a course with 5 different parallettes where you go through the course, you shoot, and then you go under the parallettes, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
So then we adjusted it, ran it again, didn't work again. So we were like, okay, scrap the stage, let's redo it. So we put the parallettes on 1 bay, and then you and Chance ran through it again, and we finally figured it out after the
I ran that stage, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 times.
3 times.
I was tired when I was done with it.
I believe it.
That because it was physically, it was grueling enough that, it affected the shooting.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to break you off completely. I think that, Inman was more the stage that was designed to just kind of, attack people's strength.
Yeah.
But that sled push stage, it was funny when we vetted it, we all finished and didn't have any issues. And then when it came time for the actual competition, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. In hindsight, us shortening up maybe the space in between the sleds or the turf and the rope rigs would have helped out definitely. I know the guys that went in the morning had some trouble. The turf was a little bit slick. So, bring your cleats next time or some thick treaded shoes.
The guy that I saw that did the best on that saw that we had turf and brought turf shoes and crushed everybody else.
Very smart. Yeah.
It was definitely a lack of being able to grip on the turf.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that with my boots a little bit, but had I worn like CrossFit shoes, there's no freaking way.
Well, I wore boots that they did. I mean, they're kind of similar to these shoes here. I slipped a little bit in the middle. It was always going down. For some reason, going back, I wasn't getting any slippage. But again, you're on turf, so you need to have something that has some legit tread, or I wouldn't necessarily say cleats, but
I definitely wouldn't. I would not recommend people wearing cleats because then you're going to go and we're going to have to put a rule. You're not allowed to wear
cleats because somebody's going to bring cleats.
And then go and climb the rope with cleats on. And then your foot gets stuck and then you're eating shit.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a good one.
No. So no cleats.
We said at the same time.
No,
I'm not owing you anything.
But yeah, no, the ski and steel stage was also an awesome stage. Like you said, that format has been really cool. It really, it rewards the good shooter on that stage that figures out that balance between taking your time in between your shots and also making your hits, but not taking too much time where you start getting that time cap zone. So it was really cool to see that stage, and having Greg and Andrew out there was awesome.
The cool thing about that stage, and as we get deeper into the season, I think people will start to mess with it more and play with it, is understanding what your maximal output can be, where you can still maintain a shooting percentage that's going to allow you to move off the firing line quickly. Because the killer in that was the burpee penalty. Yeah. Right? Like we saw people finish that got burpee penalties for sure, because I finished and I got burpee penalties. But if you wanted a great score, you have to move at maximal output that allows you to operate at 100% on the firing line.
Yep.
And the shots are doable. Every shot is makeable.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a cool thing that we'll continue to mess with this year. And cool because of our sponsorship by Garmin. Garmin has heart rate monitors that'll work with all the C2 equipment. And then they have... obviously, all the C2 equipment will be out there, and those will be at every one of our events. So for sure, we've definitely got the opportunity to do.
Yep, and I think we had 6-inch steel at 50 yards, and then we had 8-inch steel for pistol at about 17 or so. I think we had that target at.
No, I think we ended up moving it back, and it was 20 or 21.
Okay,
and then the rifle steel was just under 50.
Yeah,
because I think that total length of that bay was like 55 yards, and we were in a couple yards, so we'll say it was about 50 yards.
Yeah.
So right on zero, but you were shooting the top 2 positions were actually harder on the side of the rooftop. The bottom supported positions I thought were a little bit easier as you worked your way down. It was just understanding and knowing how to get into those positions,
Yeah.
whether you've done it or not
Yeah,
before.
definitely.
Cool. Let's go into performance.
Performance, let's
All
do it.
right, let's do it. Switch over to the. So first off, we've got our women's 50 plus. So we had talked about this division and I'm sorry, this category and getting this started this year along with the men's 60 plus. So we had 2 women's 50 plus competitors this time, which was awesome. We had 5 on the men's 60 plus, which was really, really cool. So definitely excited to get these ladies moving and get them out there and get them some representation. So Marcy has been she's come to every event this year. She signed up for Poland.
Signed up for Poland. She was in South Carolina last year.
Yeah.
I want to say she did nationals as well too. I can't remember, but she's been to a ton of events recently, and she's been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes as well. So it was cool to see her this last weekend, and seeing her performance and getting on the podium is great.
And so obviously she was competing in women's intermediate.
Correct.
Just because of her strength level, that's where she's at right now, which is awesome. And we had a decent size. I think we had 10 in women's intermediate.
Yep.
So she was one of 10, but she was the second highest scoring women's 50 plus competitor that we had out there. So good performance. And that what you're seeing placement wise, that's relative to women's intermediate, not the women's 50 plus. So Next up, I don't know if I can click through. Page up, man down, pimp down. Okay, women's 50 plus.
All right, Michelle Toomey. Michelle's another one. She's been coming around a lot lately as well. Podiumed in South Carolina last year. Also been putting in a ton of work. So again, it's awesome to see her out there and seeing some progress from event to event as well too.
And the scores that you're seeing here, she competed in women's 40 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So the scores that you're all seeing here were all against the women's 40 plus competitors.
Yep.
She got a really good finish on the speed plates.
Yeah, she did great on the speed plates there on that stage. And then you've got, what else on there? So carbine stage, looks like she had a little bit of trouble on some of the farther targets out there. Bar exam, she had a pretty good score on there. Did decent on the hits as well too.
All right, let's go to men's 50 plus?
60 plus.
60 plus.
Yep.
All right.
Michael Trocino. Michael's he's one of those guys. He comes and competes at a lot of the skirmishes. Has been competing in the sport for a long time as well too. So again, it's good to see him on the podium here. Local guy here. Had a really good show out on the pit. Got 48 work points on the pit there. Did well on the ski and steel stage also. Michael puts in a ton of work.
Look at the run.
He's in really good shape. Got second on the run as well too. The run was fun. It was cool. It's always cool when we do a run on site. Gives us that opportunity to be able to have everybody run in kit. It's been a while since we've done that. I think the last time we did that was North Carolina last year. It was the last time we had people running kit.
Yep.
So it's been a little while. So it was good to have that out there. And Michael crushed the run there. He did real good.
Fittest 60-year-old you've ever met.
He's got great abs.
Look at the vascularity in his forearm. He's crushing it.
Mike and the next 2 competitors competed in men's 50 plus. So scores you're seeing and placement you're seeing is relative to the 50 plus, but we busted these guys out because they were in their own category, and it was cool. We had a whole squad of 60 plus competitors as well.
Yep.
All right, going to
place. Jason
Poindexter.
Nice, man.
One of my favorites out there. He's just always smiles, always a good dude, like just having a good time. He's happy to be there. And he worked his ass off and did really well. He got crushed on the run and in the pit, but on all the tactical game stages, he did pretty well.
He did, yeah. He did good on bar exam, ski and steel. He did great on. Just finished under time cap on that, which is awesome. Let's see, tow haul mode. Got a 3rd place finish on there as well too. Looks like he had a sled penalty there and missed a decent amount on rifle, so that kind of hurt him. But relative to his division, he still finished 3rd on that. So
the carbine also ate him alive. So he can't just say I'm not good at fitness because his rifle apparently was.
yeah.
But congrats, Jason. And then we'll call him the father of the 60 plus division. Jeff Craddock is. I can tell you guys, anybody listening, the reason that the 60 plus category exists. Jeff has been lobbying for that and pushing hard for it, and we definitely wanted to make it possible, and he's been out there trying to get guys involved and get them interested. So thank you, Jeff, very much for that contribution, and congratulations on your 1st place finish here in the men's 60 plus category. Look, I mean, he did crushed the run, fourth
Yep.
place on the run with a 97 percentile. At ski and steel, he was up there, second place. Toe haul mode, he did really well. I mean, he had some good finishes, some very strong finishes.
Yep.
And he's competing against 50-year-old dudes. I think Jeff's like 63, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome to see him out there.
All right, so congrats again to everybody in the 60-plus category. Let's go ahead and move to men's 50-plus. Third place, Scott Stevens.
Let's go.
Scott's the man. I love Scott.
Scott brought us king cake, right? That
He
was
did.
where that came from?
He did. Yep. You guys had went to Mardi Gras, and he was like, "Hey, did you get to go to Mardi Gras with Nick and Amanda?" And everybody, I was like, "No, I didn't get a chance to go." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna bring you some king cakes," and I have no idea what that is.
Do you know now? Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked it up now. But he brought us 2 huge king cakes, which we all demolished after the event on Sunday. So thanks
Some
again
hungry
for that,
boys.
Scott. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed those. So it's good to see Scott on the podium. I talked to him yesterday. He had a hard Saturday. I think he said he was in 7th place on Saturday. But just stayed in the game, played his own game plan, and it panned out for him. Got 567 points for the weekend there, and had a couple of good stages. Did well on the pit and ski and steel. Got 4th place finishes there. Did good on carbine. Cleared the carbine stage, which is awesome to see. And yeah, man, it's good to see Scott on the podium.
And that was his. So it looks like he probably started with bar exam, then went to ski and steel, and then did pistol speed plates, and then finished up with the Inman change that we made.
Yep.
And then started with the run that next day. But yeah, he pulled it out. Pulled it out that next day. He got a 4th place finish with the start on the because that's where I'm pretty sure they started the next morning after the run in the pit. I was down there judging those guys.
Yep.
And then he did well on toe haul mode, and then closed it out with a solid performance in carbine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great job, Scott.
So 2nd place, David Warman.
Good job, David Werman. David Werman, he's another one. He's a competitor that's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I've seen him on the podium. This might be one of the first times I've seen him on the podium.
I know there was one last year. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm happy to see him on the podium there. Finished up with 626 match points. Had a really good run on carbine. Finished it in 75 seconds. And also took second on our Inman style stage.
He's like toe haul mode. You got a 4th place finish. It's at almost a 94%.
Yep.
He was hanging in there on every single stage this weekend.
He was one of the few guys that finished in his division on that stage on toe haul mode. Also, just finished under time cap on there. Looks like he dropped a little bit on the rifle target there, but I mean got a 4th place finish and held on strong and finished second for the weekend. Todd Thompson, he crushed it this weekend.
he was just beating up on people.
He did incredible. He's been putting in a ton of work, and I know that he's shooting for Atlas now, I think.
Yeah.
So happy to see him getting some good traction there in the space, and has 5 first place finishes for the weekend.
Yeah, 5, and then run, he got gapped a little bit by about 11.5%.
Yeah.
But other than that, on the carbine, he was within 8% of the winner.
Yep.
And on toe haul mode, he was within 5.5% of the winner. So he crushed it.
Still took first place on the bar exam stage, 74 work points, 48 hits. Yeah, good job for you this weekend, Todd. It was good to see him out there.
What did we have for total points available? So we would have had
the loadout for that was 4x10 for rifle and pistol, so out of 80.
No, I'm saying total points available for the weekend. 700 is what we had for total points available for the weekend, and he got a 676.85 in total points available.
Yeah.
So great job, Todd. That was awesome to watch you out there.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going next?
So we've got who we get women's 40.
All right.
Jill Roush.
Look at that smile.
On the podium. It's good to see her on the podium, man. She's been crushing it. She did her first event last year, was a team event.
Joey couldn't make it.
That's right. She did a co-ed team last minute
and
podium.
Yeah.
Yep. Podium at that event. Did another event.
Was it nationals or?
I think it was nationals.
It was another event, and I'm pretty sure she won that in women's intermediate.
I'm pretty sure she did. She's been doing great, man. She's an awesome shot. She's been working a lot on her fitness as well too. She had a couple of really good finishes on here. Took 3rd place in toe haul mode, the carbine stage, and bar exam. overall, just a really good, consistent effort by her for the weekend.
And then moved up to women's 40 plus and started with the
Yep.
third place finish. So
Yep.
congrats, Jill. And she's always smiling. She's always happy.
Extremely happy.
Happy to be out
Zero
there.
complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to see her out there. Carla,
Welcome back, Carla.
OG. Good to see her on the podium as well, too.
Carla's been involved in the sport since the beginning of the sport. She's
Yeah.
been a competitor in there and ran through. She was an elite competitor, one of the top females in the sport for a long time, and it's been, I guess, 7 years since the sport started. So she's, she's still out there, still kicking ass and beating up on people. She switched career, no, I won't say switched careers, she switched jobs last year. So it's allowed her a little bit more time to compete. So she said she's going to be around quite a bit this year, which I'm excited about.
Absolutely. She had 4 first-place finishes this weekend. Crushed it on the run. She got first on the pistol speed plates. Ski and steel she did great on. Bar exam she shot really well. Got 56 hits, 52 work points. Got second on the carbine, second on tow haul mode. So a super consistent effort on her part this weekend.
The carbine stage ate her alive, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking at where she made up for points, because she's at 642.61. So you figure she lost 48 and some change points on carbine. She could have easily been at a 690 point score if she would have won that. She got beat up pretty bad in that carbine stage.
Vanessa, who took first in 40 plus, had a really good stage. That's how she got 51% in second place.
Wow.
Yeah, 675 total match points, dropped 24.9. Like, she absolutely handedly won the division this year.
Shooting. Wow. Look at that. That score, 77. What was the top time we saw? 60, I think.
60 and change, I think, was Brett McCraney.
Yeah.
Men's elite. Yeah.
This has got to be the top women's score.
Oh,
and
for sure. For the weekend,
90% of the men's competitors out there, too.
Yeah. No, she did phenomenal. She did a really good job this weekend. Bar exam, she shot really well, got 53 hits, 46 work points. Ski and steel stage, she had a really good finish there, so she couldn't have missed a bunch with penalty work included in there. Took second to Carla on the pistol speed plates on our Play on a Classic Inman stage. Got first as well, too. Finished the stage. She got 340 penalties there, so that looks like those were just misses on paper. Great job, Vanessa. Really, really significant win on that one.
That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah. We got men's 40 next. Ross Polk, 598 match points.
Roscoe Pollo.
Sure.
That's his Instagram handle.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I was like, cute nickname. Did good on the run. Took second place on the run. Ski and steel did really well on. Finished second there. Took 99 match points on it. Bar exam stage, shot great on bar exam. Got 61 hits, 56 work points, and took second on tow haul mode as well, too. I don't think anybody in men's 40 actually finished that stage.
The tow haul mode?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was rough. It was a rough stage.
Let's go, Brandon Rodas.
Bolt monkey.
Bolt monkeys. Yeah.
People's champ, man. Brandon came into the sport last year, shoots almost every day, definitely shoots matches every single weekend, is an absolute cardio monster. Like, it's very cool to see him continue to compete and continue to climb the podium. This is his highest finish so far, so I'm really happy to see Brandon on the podium here.
Yeah, and he's got that killer mustache. He's
Great
out there.
mustache.
He's always in a great mood. That dude smiles. When he's out there,
He's like a sleeper car.
he's a 92 Civic, and you
With
get up next to him.
LS1 in it.
Brandon, you are awesome, and we love having you around. Congratulations on that great finish.
He had a great carbine finish on that. 69 seconds on that.
Killer, yep.
First on the run, which I had expected from him.
That dude is so fast. Have you ever seen him output on an erg, too?
Yeah.
That dude can output some power.
He's going to be a problem this year. If he continues the way he's going with his trajectory, man, he's going to be a real force when it comes to nationals this year. I'm really excited.
He is hilarious. And there, the people's champ, Nathan Drum. Nate had great stuff all weekend. The carbine, a little bit of a issue there that it looks like he had compared to the rest of the division. But other than that, man, he did really, really well. Within, I would say, it looks like 14% off first place was the lowest finish that he had, with the exception of carbine. But yeah, he absolutely crushed it. great to have Nate out there, and he's going to be a papa soon. So we'll see how long that. I don't know. I thought it was going to affect Hepner.
Yeah.
And he hasn't let off the gas at all, and he's got twins.
Not at all. So good job, Nate. Super happy for you.
Yeah. Just make up nicknames for him. That's the easiest way to do it.
All right, women's tactical. Nice. 599 match points for Trish Crochet.
Trish is another one. She's been around competing for a long time. I think she was in the national championship in 2021. I remember her being there for that one. She might have started in 2020. I'm not positive.
She did. She's been around for a while. She's been on a hiatus for about a year, and then just popped back in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Trish.
Yeah, it was great to have her back.
Pop back in Podium. That's awesome. Again, good, consistent work. Finished first on the carbine. Finished first on pistol speed plates. Got a second place finish on Play on a Classic with she had 300 penalties on there.
30 misses.
So 30 misses. Yep. Did good on the, did pretty well on the pit. Yeah, great performance. We got second place Maddie Turner with 603 match points. Had a first place finish on bar exam. Shot well there, 56 hits, 60 work points. Got first place on Inman with 21 misses. Finished second on the pit with 48 points there. And looks like she finished the tow haul mode stage. Kudos to you.
She had, look at that.
Two misses on pistol.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She had a really, really good performance. I was actually out there watching when she was on tow haul mode, and she did really well. Looked strong on the sled, was pushing the sled better than anybody else out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was one person that pushed a little bit better or might have shot a little bit better because there was a lot of points to be made up on that high value target.
Yeah.
That was definitely a rifle shooting stage. If you got to the line and were able to perform on rifle, you were crushing people.
Yeah.
The 320 yard paper that we had was a full size sheet of paper at 320 yards. And there was some really weird stuff happening with the wind.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. And that's one of my favorite shooting sequences we've done on the stage.
And Mallory taking first place with 626 match points. Good amount of first place, second place finishes there. Looks like she took fifth on carbine, dropped about 34 points there. But for the most part, held strong all weekend. Super consistent effort. 42 hits, 64 work points on bar exam. Got first place on ski and steel, second on the speed plates, third on Inman with about 38 misses there. And shot consistently on tow haul mode as well too. 13 misses there and 7 misses on the rifle target there. So congrats to Mallory. I don't think we've seen her compete it's been a while.
Yeah, it was a year, I think she said. So she's back after a year off, and it was definitely it was good to have her back. And she just moved to the area too, so I'm pretty sure if she's not there yet, she's going to be soon. She just moved down to that area of Florida. So welcome back, Mallory. Next up, men's tactical, Dom Pennington.
I'm stoked to see him on the podium.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think this is Dom's first podium. Maybe second.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's awesome to see him on the podium. Took first on 2 stages, the ski and steel stage. Pistol speed plates had a great run, 13.6 on the speed plates. Ski and steel, 628 second finish time there. So he was cooking on that stage. Did good on the tow haul mode stage as well too. So overall, really solid performance.
The carbine is what he got. Lost some 30 something points in the carbine stage, and then the run he lost about 21 points on the run. So you're looking at easily 60 points that could have been made up there.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, the speed plates, like you said, he crushed on speed plates.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Smith, Forrest.
Forrest.
Do you remember Matt last year? He was the one that crushed the heavy. He was competing in elite last year.
Mm-hmm.
He crushed that big bag stage. He's
in
like
Florida?
6'4", 6'5".
That's right.
And he had that wingspan that he could just pick that bag up very easily. I say easily. He could pick that bag up pretty well last time, but he jacked his back up. His back was hurt.
You heard his back training for the tactical games?
No, I don't know what he did, but he hurt his back, so he said he just couldn't. I mean, if you look at, he is the kind of guy that could finish Inman very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And if you look at playing a classic, he did well on playing a classic.
Yeah, he did well there.
But bar exam and pistol, speed plates, and the pit all kind of ate him alive.
Yeah, lost a good amount of points there for sure. But actually, that might be the fastest time of the weekend.
For carbine?
53 seconds.
Yeah, I think he won carbine. I think Brett McCraney was around 60. But yeah, that was really, really fast.
He hosed that down. That's awesome.
Great job, Matt. And then men's tactical first place, going to the big check bank.
Tori Kirkland.
Mr.
Sugar Weasel. Yeah, so Tori, so Tori got that third place finish there. Shot relatively well, but did time cap on it. Finished first on the bar exam stage. Shot 60, hit 60 out of his 80 hits there, which is, good shooting percentage, 60 work points. Took second on ski and steel. Pistol speed plates ate his lunch, though. That's surprising. I wonder what happened there. Be curious to see what would have happened there.
I mean, his time was what, 22 seconds?
Yeah, 24th on that, though. So that's a big gap. Dropped 40 points there, but still took first place. So
I dropped 20 points.
My mistake. Yep. That was a 50-point stage. And then play on a classic, Inman stage, did great there. Dropped 25 hits. Yeah, good job, Tori, man. Great.
Working out shirtless in your front yard is paying off.
Cal and Baby Ram.
Look at Rammy. Cal was out there representing Team Glock. Really, really solid finish. I know she had some rifle issues and she was trying to work through that, but other than that, man, she's definitely making a push this year and getting better, getting stronger. She was probably the strongest woman in the sport for a very long time, and then popped Remy out last year and got back and started competing almost immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I think 3 months after she had Remy. I think the North Carolina, her and Jimmy both competed there right after they'd had him. So kudos to her. 2, 3 first place finishes. Did real good on Inman. Again, plays to her strength. Did really good on the pit. Did good on the runtime as well too.
But that carbine stage, she dropped 50 points in the carbine stage.
Yeah. She shoots that. She shoots that better. That would have bumped her up into second for sure.
3 FTs, I guess, because those were 20-second
Yep.
uses. Yeah, so 3 FTs there. Next up, Katie Batiste, Team Aim Point.
Awesome.
Out there with Ortac.
She usually competes in tactical, so I think...
No, she's been in Elite for the past, I think she started halfway through last year.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh,
she competed at Nationals in Elite.
Awesome. Super consistent throughout the weekend, too. Nothing lower than a third place finish, and when she did, she dropped...
It was close.
Yeah, it was really close.
I mean, 643 match points is solid. Yeah. She did really, really solid.
Yeah, dropped about 25 points on carbine, but still being in second place. So Meg must have shot that really well. If Meg took first on that. Bar exam stage, shot great too. Got 58 out of 80 hits there, 36 work points. Ski and steel did great. She must have shot very well there. Did really good on pistol speed plates with 17-second finish there. Good on her, man. Solid performance.
Oh, yeah. And then the women's elite first place finisher, Megan Kennedy.
Nice.
681 out of 700 points possible.
She crushed it.
Yep.
She took first place, and she took first place well on those stages. Those are the right stages to do it.
Yeah. So bar exam, she dropped 9 points. 3 points on, or 3.5 on playing a classic, and about 5 on the pit.
Yeah, 5 points was the most she dropped.
I'm sorry, only 2.5. Yeah,
yeah. She did not drop a lot of points this weekend. Really good, consistent effort. Good to see her crushing it in women's elite. First place on the run, did great on the run. Carbine stage, she did really well on, cleaned that up. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Great job, Megan.
Really good performance for the weekend.
There he is.
Big Zach.
What we got on Zach?
Zach, first place on bar exam, 60 hits, 60 work. Took fourth on toe haul mode. Shot well on toe haul mode, only dropped 6 for pistol, 10 for rifle. Where else has he got? Second place finish on ski and steel. That plays the Zach's strength though. He can crush it on C2.
He lost
13th, yeah.
He lost 60 points on carbine.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I felt bad for him on the pit. He was doing really good on the pit and got lost there on the sequence for a second, which ate up a little bit of time there.
He was on track to definitely win that. And I wouldn't say win that event, but he was on track for like mid 50s for reps, and he just got caught up and lost. And, so 592.16 points for Zach Rodman. Go up to second place. Look at that difference, 592.31.
Quadzilla, Big Willie.
So less than a point of separation between second and third.
Such a tight race between those guys.
2 more bags on the pit, or 1 more bag on the pit, and Zach would have pulled it out. But Willie held strong, and he crushed it on the pit. He got 50 points down there. Was moving really well. I mean, he got in bar exam was a little bit rough for him, it looks like.
Yeah, he didn't do well in his shooting on that one. He only got 32 hits out of 80 on that one. So offhand shooting on that was a little tough for him. Did great on the run. He came right behind Kurt on the run there. Looks like pistol speed plays. I mean, not a terrible time, but I mean, between first and fifth place on that, I mean, you're talking very little bit amount of time. So, great showing though for the weekend. Third place on tow haul mode. I think he demolished that stage as far as like the work goes. He had some issues on rifle.
Yeah, he had 34 misses on rifle.
Well, no, it was
20,
half of 20 seconds, so 17 misses on rifle. Out of what was the loadout on that? That was 30. So yeah, didn't shoot great rifle there, but shot pistol well. 9 misses on pistol. So
he got a finish time though, and a lot of guys in that division didn't. I think maybe it was about 50% of the field finished that workout in the morning group. And then our first place men's elite
Big
finisher, Kurtley. Fennell.
Did not drop one pistol shot on tow haul mode. Dropped 9 rifle shots. Even though he time capped on it, he did really, really well on that stage. So it looks like he must have just finished it. He must have finished right after. Must have time capped right after that.
Yeah,
sled.
He was pushing the sled back and got the sled back, but didn't get to the line. Yeah. It was a last ditch effort because I was out there that morning to get it to the line, and he started the run and just didn't complete the run to the finish line, so he didn't get a time. But yeah, Carbine, he crushed Carbine. I think Brett McCraney was the only one in the division that beat him, but he was within 17%. Bar exam crushed it.
5 first place finishes and 3 second place finishes.
6 on pistol speed plates.
Yeah. Smoked that stage.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the time for the weekend for that. That was the best time.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely crushed that stage. Ski and Steel got a 585 second finish on that as well too. I mean, he must have barely dropped any shots on that stage to finish that fast.
Oh, I watched that. I was over there watching that. It's actually up on YouTube if you guys are interested and want to go check something out. Watch the men's elite Ski and Steel stage that's up on YouTube. That dude was methodical about every single thing that he did. And so I watched Joey Roush and I watched Kurt, who to me were like 2 of the most impressive that I got to watch on that stage. And both of them had an approach when they went into it. And it was like they knew exactly where they needed to be.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what cadence they wanted to shoot at. And it was really, really cool. Kurt crushed that because Joey, I think, might have had the top time before Kurt.
Yeah.
If not, it was pretty close. And then Kurt came in and he just beat the brakes off of people in that stage. So congratulations, Kurt. Congratulations to everybody that finished on the podium this weekend. And that was an awesome event for them. So let's talk stage vetting.
Stage vetting.
What'd you vet the stage with?
I vetted tow haul mode. Vetted it with my son's rifle, Night Force A-Tacker, Loophole Delta Point Pro on my pistol, and Jackrabbit plates, good soft plates. Happened to shoot better than Gil on the rifle stage. First stage I vetted that I actually shot better than Gil on, so holding that one over his head until the end of time, and kept my targets as well too. So we'll see those framed up here in the office. They can go to thetacticalgames.com and purchase those at any point, and we ship nationally. So, shameless plug.
You're a corporate shill.
I am a corporate shill.
Oh, God.
If you don't run Jackrabbit plates, then...
Don't you? So, what was your favorite stage that we vetted? What was your best performance on stages that we vetted?
Yeah, actually, the best performance I had was on the tow haul mode stage. I shot rifle well. I think I ended up dropping 9 pistol rounds, and I think I had dropped 12 rifle or 10 rifle. But I felt really good. The wind was blowing pretty heavy on that stage, but it was really fun. I've been wanting to do that turf and sled push stage for a while, and the program overall, I think I was the most excited about this program than anything else that I can remember that we've done recently. Just overall, I think it was well balanced. There was some good heavy stages. There were some good stages that had to test you, that tested you mentally. I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the ski and steel stage. I like that. There's a lot of dynamic movement there, both between like the ski erg, and if you have some penalty, if you had some penalty work, getting up and over the box. I had a couple issues. You mentioned it earlier, but shooting off the pitch on that 2.0 barricade. I dropped a couple of hits on rifle, dropped a few on pistol, and then the last 5, I shot those last 5 rounds clean. So I was happy with the performance on that stage. And bar exam was just just grueling and muddy, and then running through it as many times as we did, it was definitely a little kick in the pants there. We were really excited about it because we saw how we could set it up, and we're like, oh, this is going to be great. And then we ran through it, and we were like, there's no way with 5 guys on the line that this isn't going to create a bunch up with, one parallel.
It would have been dudes just running over dudes. And,
yeah. So that was fun. But yeah, those were my 2 favorite stages that we vetted. Shot pistol speed plates decently. So I wasn't mad at that. I shot it in like 14.4. So, was happy with that. And those are the only ones I did test, but you kind of tested. You went through it on vetting day.
I was running my Q Sugar Weasel. I have an ATAC R on it, and a Huxworks Flow 556. I did end up, between last event and this event, swapping out an A5 buffer. I noticed last time when I was going prone that standard carbine buffer just didn't give me enough of where I like to be behind the optic. So I put a A5 buffer in there, changed just the buffer weight and the spring in there. But other than that, the rifle's all stock, but that was my change from last time. And then for pistol, I shot a 320 SIG 320X Legion. That was with a Vortex Defender on it. I've been shooting 2011s for so long. Going to a striker fired pistol was a big change for me.
Yeah,
specifically in speed on the line.
Yeah,
and then realized accuracy. Like, it is way easier to pull a trigger fast and to pull a trigger more accurately on a 2011 platform. Yeah. But on the bar exam, I dropped, I think, 5 rifle shot or pistol shots. Maybe it might have been 6, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 pistol shots that I dropped. And then rifle, I got my ass kicked on rifle.
That was a tough shot.
It wasn't the shot. No, it was so. I know my hold at 320 yards, and it was about 1.5. And
you talking bar exam or toe haul mode?
Toe haul mode. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Toe haul mode. I know my holds. I pulled up to the line, and I had a great position. We're prone, and everything seemed to be going really, really well. And then we walked out, and I was kind of like arrogantly walking down to go and check my rifle target because I felt like I had a really good hold.
Yeah.
And then I looked at mine and Gil's, and both of us, we were low and super low. And I still don't know why. We were right next to a berm, so it's possible. And one of the other competitors mentioned that it might be possible that there was a downdraft coming from the wind over the berm.
Yeah.
That was driving those bullets down. But like, everything that I made was low. And then everything that Gil made was low as well. So it was really interesting to see, like, whatever it was, my hold just was not, it was consistent. I could tell I was pulling good shots, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, you were grouping, but it was just a little low left.
Really low. What I was aiming at was the top of the paper. So I should have been impacting if there were a low in the paper, but not that low. I mean, we're shooting a 16 by 19 piece of paper. I don't know what the hell was happening, but anyways, I hadn't re-zeroed after switching out those things, but that shouldn't have adjusted 0 at all. And then I went and confirmed 0 afterwards, and I was on. So maybe there was something downrange with that I just wasn't aware of. And I'm making excuses for why you beat me on a fucking rifle.
I shot it well, so.
Yeah,
I shot it well. Well, actually,
Gil goes. What was it? Saturday night when we went to go eat dinner. He just like pulled me aside. He's like, did it ever occur to you that I might have been shooting your target? And I was like, maybe, but you didn't. So in the game that we played, those are my points.
There's a giant number spread.
That's what I said. I'm like, oh, you're telling me you weren't paying attention to your target? Okay.
Gil helped you out.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's the game we play.
And then we ran bar exam next 3 times.
Yep.
And I actually, in the final one, I shot well, but again, just more time on the firing line for pistol with that striker fired pistol. For me, because I'm not accurate with it yet, I'll need to spend some time working with it to get to understand it a little bit better. And but I liked it. It was good to have a holster that was, I used a Blackhawk holster, and I forget the model number now. But it was good to have a holster that was fit specifically for the weapon that I was shooting. I didn't have any bounce in there. Everything just felt really good. And then where did we go after that? We went over to Ski and Steel.
Yep.
That is where the striker fire for me, because again, I know I'm pulling good shots.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like low, low, low.
Yeah.
That sucked. I missed one of them. I missed 4 pistol shots.
Yeah.
On a
that's defeating. It's defeating. On an 8-inch steel, you're like, oh, I did that on my second round. I think I dropped 4, and I was just like, come on, dude.
And I shouldn't have dropped a single pistol shot on that target. I know I was pulling good shots, and I was slowing down, and at the rate that I was shooting at, I should have not been missing a single shot.
Yeah.
And I was missing them pretty consistently. So the rifle shots I cleaned. I might have missed 1 rifle shot on that.
Yeah.
But the pistol is where I got my one sheet, and then
it was fun.
I didn't do pistol speed plates, not because I didn't want to. We had a meeting that popped up that I had to go and try to get a new sponsor for seeds.
Ooh, jalapeno ranch, the winner flavor. But no, that stage. I mean, I always love those stages. Those are fun. So Gil ran that one first, and I ran it.
How bad did Gil beat you on that stage?
Actually, so our first run, I actually did beat Gil on that one. But he absolutely hosed me on our second round. I completely botched it, and the sun was in my eyes. But no, I shot it my second time. I shot it in like 18 seconds. It's not great.
The first time I ever shot that, I'm pretty sure I dropped my magazine out, threw it at the target, and then went to the next stage and just mag dumped into the berm.
Good old Will Hutch mag dump.
Not happy to be there. Not happy to be doing that.
That was funny. Yeah, we were just sitting in that we were sitting in that bay, and you went to the one to the right of us, and all of a sudden we just hear ga 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 ga, and we're like, oh, he's getting some aggression now.
Oh, that was one of those days.
Yeah, that was a fun one to vet. We went around the run course. I didn't run the run course personally. Chad ran the run course
in under 10 minutes.
In under 10 minutes. Chad Gross, after a full day of work,
and not like normal work, like manual labor. He wasn't sitting at a computer typing.
No, after a full day of physical work, we needed to double check to make sure just the flags were still on the run and nothing got messed up on them. So I was like, hey, does anybody want to go take the bikes to go just check the run? He's like, I'll run it. I was like, you want to run? You want to run right now? He's like, yeah. Took his shirt off, put his watch on, and then just took off. And then like I went and grabbed something out of the trailer, came out, and I just see him sprinting back. I'm like, how are you already? Did you run the whole thing? He's like, yeah. Ran it in like 10.5 minutes. Like, all right. Just running at like a 5-minute clip. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And then ran home. 3 miles.
Yeah. At like 7:30 at night, the sun had set and he ran home.
Dude,
those guys are built different.
They're built different.
Every one of them.
Impressive.
That we had the opportunity to purchase Timmy, and we didn't do it, and I regret it.
At a great deal.
Yeah,
we should actually still see if that's on the table.
His brother was selling him. It's a legal document.
Hey man, it's just like adoption at this point. We'll adopt him. We'll feed you steak, Tim. We got you covered.
Whatever kind of steak. We have great steak here in Texas. Just come down. You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
You'll finally get us a gross brother.
But yeah, man. Again, Holt was a fun event. I'm really happy with how the program turned out. So
do a good job in Reno. Just do a good job.
Do a good job in Reno. Now we just got to do it all over again. What do you want to do?
I want Nick to talk about that real quick.
Oh, we're going to talk about the bolts. This is a bolt carrier group from Sons of Liberty Gunworks. We did a collaboration with them to use their bolt, the bolt that they have built, and get our logo placed onto it. So cut over to Nick's camera. I'll put it over. See if we can focus on this. I don't know if it's going to be too far away.
Hold it closer to you. That's not how that works.
Or is it
Hold
tricky?
it close to your face.
There you go.
Boom. Look at
I
that
don't know
ball
if you'll be
carrier
able
group.
to zoom in on that. Anyway,
Sharp. Look at
cool new
that.
products. Email us if you're interested in.
Shameless plug number 2.
Shameless plug number 2 of the
Shameless
podcast. This podcast sponsored by Purell.
No, as always, we appreciate you guys. It was awesome to see everybody in Florida. We're looking like we're gonna have a new skirmish out in the Florida region as well
Yeah.
too. We're super excited about that. Jay Haslett will be running
Yeah.
that. So we're working on a couple other things just to get that ironed out. So stay tuned for that. As soon as we get that dialed in, we'll be announcing dates and where it's going to be held. Florida always shows up in mass for us whenever we go there. So I have no doubt that Jay's going to have a really big match in club out there. So really excited for that one.
Yeah, I think that skirmish is going to be awesome. And watching the advancement of the skirmish program has been great as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're also looking at Tennessee. It's
Yep.
another one that's on the agenda, and Minnesota.
Yep.
Christy Watson and Sean Nelson are going to be getting one going out there.
Yep.
I think over the next probably month. They've got us dates. We just got to get a few things
Yep.
ironed out with them.
Yeah,
It's been great to see skirmish growing.
yeah, man, really excited for it.
Anything else you want to say before we leave?
Nope.
Can you sing us a song?
I don't.
Can you pronounce Berea?
I only sing if I'm getting paid to sing. So it's a whole thing.
Pronounce Berea for us.
Birria tacos. Oh, that was another thing. That what? We're not going to stop the podcast yet. So we went out to dinner at the El Paso Mexican Cantina, whatever the name of it was, and the Gross brothers were like, "We don't know what we want. We don't have real Mexican food where we live." So I'm explaining everything to them. I go, "This is a quesadilla." He's like, "What's a quesadilla?" I'm like, "All right, buckle in, young blood. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on game real quick." And I ended up ordering them birria tacos and horchata, and they absolutely loved it. It was so funny. He's like, happened to be Mexican. But he messaged me after the event when him and Timmy had went out and they got steak, and he's like, "I really wish I could have one of those rice milkshakes that you ordered me at the restaurant." And I'm like, "You mean the horchata?" Yeah, dude.
My favorite part about the tactical games is when we bring people that have
Yeah.
never eaten anything outside of like chicken tenders and like, their normal, like we'll call it American food. And then
Yeah.
last year we went to that Korean restaurant with all the people.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious too. That waitress was she was interesting.
top
She was
five,
interesting.
top five.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she had an attitude on her.
A lot of people's first job.
First flight, yeah.
You did.
First ride in an airplane, first rental car.
Just exposing people to the world here at the
That's it.
Tactical Games.
We appreciate. We're
We're doing the Lord's work. All right.
uh,
That's all we got,
yeah,
guys.
nothing else.
That's it.
Okay, cool. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.